So if you didn't know, there is an Ace manga out right now. Over the last couple of years, there was some novels released covering Ace's life, things that happened in the 3 years between him leaving the East Blue and dying in Marineford. So during those 3 years, obviously a lot happened. He formed the Spade Pirates, made his own crew, went to challenge Whitebeard, turned down an offer to become a Shichibukai, and so many other things that we know from One Piece as a manga, but obviously we don't know about these things in depth. And so there were some novels released about his life, and now these novels are being adapted into a manga, which is being drawn by none other than Boichi. If you haven't heard of Boichi before, he has drawn many manga in the past. He is currently the artist for Dr. Stone, which is serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump, and he had his own hit manga, Sunken Rock, which you may have heard of too if you're a fan of seinen manga. If you still haven't read the Ace chapter, I highly suggest you go and read it. I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. It's a fantastic read and I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. The narrator of this manga is a man by the name of Masked Deuce. This guy is blue-haired, looks pretty cool, you can see his design on the screen right now, and he's basically telling this story from his perspective. Deuce is stranded on an island in the middle of nowhere. No food, no water, no ship to get out of there. He is basically going to die if no one comes to save him or if he doesn't find food. He begins contemplating and he remembers the very reason why he came out on this journey to begin with, why he became a sailor and why he left home to challenge the boundless blue in the world of One Piece. Something really cool about this flashback is that he's basically reading a book that belonged to a explorer from the past, and in the book he reads that there's a place called Little Garden where giants live. And he doesn't probably believe this because he's a kid. Well, I mean, he does believe it because he's a gullible kid, but most people probably look at books like this and think, oh, it's just gibberish, it's just, a myth, a legend. This isn't true, but we as fans of One Piece know that this place does in fact exist in the world of One Piece and that this is what the Grand Line is capable of. So I find it really interesting to see things from the perspective of a normal civilian, a normal human who lives in one of the blues, who lives a comfortable life away from all the problems in the world of One Piece. As Deuce sits there reminiscing and basically very stressed about the predicament he's found himself in, none other than Portuguese the Ace shows up. We get a few pages of Ace and Deuce bonding, becoming friends, trying to survive together, finding fresh water, trying to build a ship, and slowly, gradually, bit by bit, making their way to leave the island together. They've become acquainted and they've become very good friends. One night, a storm hits, and all the progress they've made on this ship is basically for nothing because a tree collapses and destroys the ship. Ace is the kind of guy who doesn't gloat. He doesn't care, he just keeps pushing forward, so he's all, no biggie, we'll just build another one, but Deuce responds to him with, unlike you, I haven't eaten anything. I can't just make another ship with you. And then Ace is just startled by this response and he's like, what are you talking about? I've been with you this entire time, I haven't eaten either. And then he's hit with the mad dilemma that, there was a safe full of food that had recently been tampered with on the ship. There are no animals around, so the only other person on this island who could have eaten that food was Ace, because we all know Deuce never ate it. He's starving. This puts them in a very sticky dilemma, and Ace doesn't deny anything. He just stands there, says I don't know, and just lets Deuce throw his tantrum and run away. Deuce comes to the crushing realization that Ace never ate anything when he's attacked by a massive bird. That bird is an animal, so it was most likely the one that ate all the food on that ship. Deuce feels guilty. He regrets pushing Ace away, and he breaks into tears about everything, because he feels like he found someone who could have been a good friend to him, someone who could have been there with him and they could have had a great journey together, and he sacrificed that for something very stupid. He made an assumption, and he judged someone without knowing the full truth. We all know the kind of guy that Ace is though, right? Ace obviously didn't even think about forgiving Deuce. He immediately just went straight into this, attacked the bird, saved Deuce's life, and didn't even blame Deuce for suspecting him. That is when they find a big juicy fruit, which we know to be the Mera Mera no Mi, the flame fruit. They eat the fruit at the same time, but even though it's horrible, they are thankful for it because it feels like it's revived them, rejuvenated them. I mean, they haven't eaten in weeks. If you haven't eaten in weeks, you're going to find a devil fruit tasty. You're going to find anything tasty. Deuce's dream is to write the greatest adventure book ever, and in order to do so, he is going to need to tag along with Ace because Ace is going to be the person who can give him the greatest adventure to write about. All of a sudden, Ace catches fire and he immediately understands that this is a devil fruit that he has eaten, because obviously Luffy has eaten a devil fruit in the past and he isn't unfamiliar with its existence. We get an absolutely gorgeous spread of Ace basically showered in flames, and you just see him fully embracing this new ability and becoming Fire Fist Ace. Their ship, Striker, has finished being built and they embark on their journey together. We get this beautiful line of dialogue from Ace where he says, "Together, me and you will reach the summit," and then he gives us his first ever Hiken with the Fire Fist, and this spread is absolutely fucking phenomenal. Boichi's art is absolutely incredible from like an intrinsic detail standpoint. I personally think the character designs aren't that great for One Piece standards because One Piece has its style that I prefer and I feel like it fits the characters a lot more, but it's still absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Boichi's quality of art is higher than most mangaka in the world of manga. But then after the Fire Fist, which is my second favorite moment of the chapter, we get my favorite moment of the chapter, and that's where Deuce takes up his name. He says, "I, who was once unnamed, shall be known as Tu, or Deuce, and I'll stand by your side," and he's basically Ace's right-hand man because Ace and Deuce. Following this, we get a lot of Ace's journey montaged, which tells me that this Ace manga isn't going to be that long. I expect maybe 3 or 4 chapters for this because the pace is very, very quick. A lot of stuff was montaged. Ace being offered the Shichibukai position was montaged. Just so many different things just happened really quickly, which I'm not complaining about. I actually like this pace because it means we're going to get to the good stuff sooner rather than later. And as I said, at the end of the chapter, we get to see the man himself, Shirohige. We get to see the Moby Dick looking absolutely gorgeous in Boichi's art style, the New World, the second half of the Grand Line, and then the fated meeting of the future father and son, Shirohige and Ace. I absolutely love this spread. I really like how Whitebeard looks, even though he looks really overly detailed. I've seen a big complaint of Boichi's art being that he is excessively detailed, like he puts way too much detail in, and I definitely see that complaint. I think it's a very reasonable one, but that's more of like a personal qualm of the art, because the way I see it, it's just a matter of preference, right, with Boichi's art, because it is undeniable that his art is of a very, very high quality. I think his paneling could be a lot better, I think some other stuff, but when it comes to the actual quality and detail, his art is top notch, and Whitebeard looks amazing. I think in this version of Whitebeard, it's better as a depiction of how Whitebeard feels and how sick he is and how old he is than Oda's, because Oda's Whitebeard doesn't look as sick and old as he actually was. I don't think that's a problem because I like Oda's art style and I like the way he draws characters, but this is a very good depiction of Whitebeard in his old age. Overall, the weird thing about reviewing this is that I have read the Ace novels. I have the physicals with me right now. I've read them in its entirety, so I know exactly what's going to happen in these books, and I can't really give you guys expectations for what's happening in the next chapters because, I've read the novels. But reviewing the manga is still a very good experience because this stuff is actually beautiful, guys. These chapters are very, very well drawn. I absolutely just love seeing characters we already know in a different light, getting more added to their life, lore about the world, seeing things from other characters' perspectives, seeing, a spin-off series where Luffy isn't even in it. That's how big the world of One Piece is. You don't need the main character to draw a very, very compelling story. So I am very satisfied with this. I'm glad I had it. If you guys enjoyed this, let me know in the comment section down below. Tell me your expectations for the next few chapters. I won't share If you've read the novels, try not to spoil in the comment section, because some very, very cool stuff is going to happen in the next few chapters. Some very, very cool stuff. So I am excited. I keep saying few, but this may be like 1 or 2 more chapters. Who knows? Because the pace we're going at is incredibly quick. But it's obviously going to go to the stuff with Blackbeard and Blackbeard killing Thatch, Ace's reaction to that. So the stuff from the actual canon One Piece manga storyline that we've seen in the 990 chapters of One Piece it's all going to be touched upon in this Ace manga series, but it's going to be delved into with a lot more depth, so you can expect to see things you never knew before. And I'm pretty sure Oda recognizes this storyline as completely canon. This is all things that has actually happened in the past of the One Piece world. I don't want you guys to like start using this for power scaling and stuff, because it's completely different. It's a completely different artist. The way Boichi draws is completely different to Oda's, and you can come to different conclusions when it comes to power scaling. That's an absurd discussion. But when it comes to things like certain character statements, certain bits of information, lore, certain characterization, stuff about Ace, this is adding to the legacy of Ace, and it is canon. All of these events are canon. You can look at this stuff and think, yeah, this is One Piece, it's just being drawn by somebody else, and it's covering things that happened years ago. Anyways guys, that is it for the chapter 1 review. If you enjoyed this, let me know, because I'm gonna do more reviews for the future chapters that drop. I'm gonna be discussing them. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more One Piece content. I've been Fiji. Peace.